Well, Batman has the Batcave, of course, but Kieth Bandit Ball has Ball's Garage, and it ain't got nothing on the Batcave. This is really something. You guys got to come inside and take a look at some of the finest looking bikes you're going to see on the West Coast, East Coast, or any coast.
Let's look at some other Bonneville efforts, and if you want to look at an old motorcycle, you're welcome to.
We'll do that. All right, we said that Kieth Ball, the 5-ball race team, is a 2-time record holder in Bonneville. We got the first year record holder, the Salt Shaker, been hiding for about a year now. Let's take a look at it. Ooh, baby. Tell us about this one.
Well, this is it's actually, I call it the first sport bike panhead. It's a rubber-mounted FXR style motorcycle. It was designed by John Reed. The frame and the chassis and the entire kit was sold by Custom Chrome, and it was designed by John Reed. And we put a 120-inch panhead engine in it, so I called it the first sport bike panhead. But it's actually an absolutely beautiful sport bike chassis. It's all rubber-mounted. I mean, it's all state-of-the-art sport bike configuration, big twin sport bike configuration. But in fact, it's funny that when I rode a Buell to Sturgis and I hit a deer, and I ended up in the hospital for 4 days. And when I left, I thought, well, I'll get another Buell because I wrecked that one. And when I talked to Harley Davidson, the next year they actually shrunk the Buells. They made them shorter. And I thought, well, you know, I already look ridiculous on a Buell. I can't ride a Buell now. So I told them at the time, I said, why don't you guys make a big twin Buell? And so this was my version of what a big twin Buell would be. It would be a sport bike that was a bigger chassis, more comfortable for a guy that's 6'2" or larger, but a bike that would really handle well in all ass.
And what's the future for this bike? Is this going to stay in a museum? Is it going to get sold? Is it going to get ridden?
You know, I'm not sure. It could end up in a museum. It could end up sold. I'd actually like to ride it more because I really love this motorcycle. But well, we'll see.
See, it looks comfortable, man.
Yeah. Well, I tried to give it a little bit of a because it was a panhead. It actually had a complete fiberglass tail section on it and a contoured seat and all that stuff that would go with a sport bike. But because it was a panhead, I tried to give it some nostalgic elements to it. And that's why we sort of created the little fender pack area back there where you could actually carry something. We used a LaPera metal flake seat on it that's almost like an old solo seat. And we used an old-timey Model T taillight on it, you know, to bring back some of that nostalgic aspect.
What was the record you got on this one?
It was a record in our category, the 2000cc open bike category. 142 miles an hour approximately was our. I think we had a top speed of over 145.
Very cool. Let's see, we got something else behind, kind of hiding it here. Let me step back, let you get in here. Kieth, we got something interesting right behind us here.
This is actually a 1940 WLD. It was a 45 flathead that I bought as a basket case, and we decided we're going to actually take it to Bonneville also. Lee Clemens from Departure Bike Works is right now working on the engine. The engine's going to be the 45 with a K-model top end on it for better breathing. We're actually going to end up using a Sportster 5-speed transmission in it. And other than that, it's going to have the old 3-gallon Fat Bob tanks on it. This is a Sportster, a late model Sportster front end. And it's going to be a real classic looking bobber styled motorcycle. But hopefully we'll get close. There's actually tough competition in this CC category. I think it's the 500cc category. So we have to get it over about 126 miles an hour to set a record.
That'll be screaming in this bike.
It absolutely will be. You know, that'll be a tiny tiny little puppy. And actually, we've used dirt bike controls on it, and the hand controls and everything on a dirt bike for this bike. But I think it's going to be a really cool little bike when we get through.
Is this going to see the salt in 08 or 09?
09, scheduled for 09.